Author Thembi Ntahane KaMahlangu has given lovers of her first novel, He Saw the Storm, a thrilling sequel to the book. Titled After the Flame, in this book we continued the protagonist's journey, Nomthi, as she's arrested and stands trial for murder after setting the Banzi ablaze. However, she receives a suspended sentence. This infuriates Makalela, Banzi's mother, as she feels that the law failed her son. Well, let me not give away too much of the story and rope in the book's writer into this conversation to share with us how this story unfolds. Thembi, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Good morning, Simpiwe. Thank you very much for having me.
It's good to have you again on the show this morning, Thembi. Now, for the benefit of our viewers who may not have read your first book, just give us a brief synopsis of what He Saw the Storm is about.
Well, He Saw the Storm is the first of the sequel. It talks about the journey that women go through, the challenges that they go through in marriages. So the story is centered around Nomthi and Nomthi. Nomthi goes into marriage with her daughter, which becomes the stepdaughter of Banzi. Later, it is discovered that Nomthi cannot give Banzi children. So now, Nomthi has had to step in to become the second wife to Banzi Makalela, who become later in the relationship, who become abusive in all manner, which is financially, emotionally, and physically. That leads Nomthi to decide to leave the marriage, but he does not have any prospect of leaving the marriage. So she decides rather to set the husband/stepfather ablaze, which is what leads her to getting arrested. So now she is arrested, and that gives birth to the second novel, which is titled After the Flame.
Let's now get into, After the Flame. Tell us more about this book and how it feeds off the first one, He Saw the Storm.
Well, After the Flame is the continuation of He Saw the Storm. Now we see Nomthi going through the consequences of having taken law into her hands. We all know that the law in South Africa, we are governed by laws. So everything is under the law. So Nomthi did not go to the police when she was beaten, when she was abused emotionally. She did not go to the police. Instead, she decided that in order for me to free myself from this situation, Banzi had to go. So now we see the length of the law, but we further discover that the law is lenient towards Nomthi in the discovery that Nomthi conceived children through rape. So Nomthi, the children that Nomthi had in the marriage / what can I call it? Because she came in first as a stepchild. So now she was promoted to wife in the process. So now in that process, she bore children through rape. So she was raped by the stepfather.
Sure.
And then the law is lenient, discovering that there is actually evidence of rape, which are her children, her two children. So that is why they are lenient to her. They take it as self-defense on her side. So she acted out of self-defense, which led to the death of the husband/stepfather, Banzi Makalela.
And we also discover that Banzi left all his money to Nomthi and her kids and nothing for Koko Makalela. Tell us more about this, Thembi, and how it pushes her to sort of set out a plot to gain revenge and take justice into her own hands.
They never liked the union of Nomthi and Banzi in the beginning because they wanted, Banzi is from the Ndebele tribe and Nomthi and Nomthi they are from the Xhosa tribe. So they didn't like that Banzi Makalela had to go and take someone outside of their tribe. They wanted Banzi to marry within the Ndebele tribe. So when Banzi married a woman outside of his tribe, that infuriated Koko Makalela because she had already planned who was going to be the wife. So now, from the beginning, when Nomthi and her mother came into the Makalela homestead, they never liked them. So Koko Makalela did not feel that Nomthi deserved the money. They did not deserve the inheritance, considering that Banzi Makalela died in the hands of Nomthi. So she felt that everything should have been left to her. But Banzi did that out of pity, out of regret, rather. He regretted everything that he did to Nomthi, but he did not find a chance to for redemption. That is why he wrote a will to say that I'm leaving everything to you so that you can take care of my children, so that you can raise my children well, so that my children, they do not suffer the way that I did.
Yeah.
But not grow from a well-off family. So his family became well-off after he became a chartered accountant. So he is the one who pulled his family out of the slumber. So now he didn't want his children to grow up the way that he did, because his father was a farmer and his mother was a housewife. So now they lived from head to mouth. He didn't want that for his children. That is why he left everything to his wife / stepdaughter to take care of.
Thembi, it gets very, very interesting. It really does, because another key character in this book is Gogo Makalela's neighbor, whom she uses as an accomplice to achieve her goal of revenge. How's yakhala manje?
So Gogo Makalela came with a plot to say that how can I achieve revenge from Nomthi. But because there was animosity between them, there was great animosity, there was great hatred between them, they did not see eye to eye. Therefore, Gogo Makalela was no longer coming to visit Nomthi, was no longer coming to the homestead, to Banzi's homestead. Now, she had to come up with a plan in order to achieve a closeness, to get closer to Nomthi. So now, Gogo Mthombeni's daughter, who died of cancer, was supposed to be Banzi's wife. Now, Gogo Mthombeni comes in. How does she come in? Gogo Mthombeni is that a friend. There was first some kind of a conflict. I will not call it a fight. It was just a minor conflict caused by the fact that her daughter died while she was supposed to marry Banzi, and then now Banzi goes and marries someone else. So Banzi was supposed to marry within the Mthombeni family, but that never happened. So now there was a conflict between Gogo Makalela and Gogo Mthombeni. Now Gogo Mthombeni wanted them to reunite. So that is why when Gogo Makalela approached Gogo Mthombeni with the idea of getting closer to Nomthi so that she can plot her revenge plan, Gogo Mthombeni agreed, because Gogo Makalela is greatly feared in the community. She is greatly known and greatly feared. So now Gogo Mthombeni rather, comes to Nomthi as that adult who is empathic with the situation, who understands the mother figure that Nomthi daily needs at that moment. So Nomthi is blinded by all of that because she sees this older woman who is there to lay a shoulder to cry on, who's there to lay a helping hand. And Nomthi is in need. So Nomthi does not see through the ploy of Gogo Mthombeni. So Gogo Mthombeni goes in, and then she plays the role of the loving grandmother. They fall in love. The kids, they fall in love with her.
You're such a lovely storyteller. I can almost imagine and picture, the whole book, Gogo Makalela, Gogo Mthombeni. I can almost, see them, visualize them. But unfortunately, time is not on our side. Thank you so much for tuning in and for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, thank you. That was Mpumalanga-based author Thembi Ntahane KaMahlangu, and we're just in conversation with her about her latest book titled After the Flame.